I've spoken out about mental ill health for many years now, and on Thursday this week, I was on a panel event where I was asked a question about the impact of it on me for being so open about it. And I'd instantly answered around how I'd take any consequences of that on the chin. It can feel challenging sometimes, but it has made me think since Thursday about what does this actually mean to me deep down. You see, I've never been one to follow the crowd, always felt like an outsider. So for me, being open about mental health challenges really doesn't feel brave or noble. It's just about being authentic. The truth is, I can't remember a time where I haven't been ill with my mental health and also seen it around me. My earliest memories are as a child with responsibilities. So we grew up in and around poverty. There'd be many mornings I'd wake up and there'd be no lecky, no electricity. The meter will have run out, and we'd probably also use the emergency too. But it was also full of trauma. I'd go to bed at the ages of 8, 9 or 10, through to teenage years in a state of anxiousness. The likelihood was that I was going to go and wake up in a couple of hours to screaming, hearing and witnessing domestic violence happening 10 seconds away from me. What do? Do you roll over and go back to sleep when you're hearing the words "kill me then" from your mum? And talking about responsibilities, those responsibilities were in calling the police, as I'd be the only one to do so. And at what stage do I need to do it? Too early, and I could have just been oversensitive about an argument, but too late, and I might go down to having no mum. And I'm sure lots more of my childhood, including struggles around my actual sexual orientation, have had lasting impacts on my development and personality as well. So my life, it's sensitive with experiences of trauma, issues around acceptance, self-esteem and more. I can't even hear a door being slammed without being thrown back to a different time, and my brain being wired to sensitivity around household emotions and its consequences. And those of you who know me know I'm not one to just put something on Twitter, have my say and move on. I'm a doer. I'm determined to make a difference, to champion causes and have a lasting impact. That's what I feel I'm here for. Because every day, in my job as Chief Exec at Sittings of Ice Wokingham, my colleagues are supporting people in similar situations to that of my family and many other experiences too. People who just need a helping hand, equipping them with advice and information that they need to move forward in their life, to escape domestic violence, to get out of poverty and live their life differently. For society, our communities and organisations to truly help people in need, we need to understand them, the barriers to getting help and the challenges that they're living with. Because if there's one thing I know about mental health, it's how alone that you can feel. Feeling like you're completely fighting a battle on your own, where you don't actually know what it is that you're fighting. You have very few answers, and it can be hard to explain your symptoms and the effect that it's having on you. It can feel like the more you reach out for support, the more distant it is. The more you try to navigate through it, the more that you're pushed away. It took me years to actually get a proper diagnosis around my mental health that actually made sense with someone who listened to me. And the sad thing is, I had to pay to go private to get that to happen. And it then happened within 3 days. I was assessed for a personality disorder and then diagnosed. But through the conversation, for the first time in my life, the consultant had also told me they thought I had ADHD, which again was diagnosed a couple of weeks later. There are two conditions, ADHD and emotionally unstable personality disorder, that have had a daily impact on my life. ADHD isn't a mental health condition, but with it, you are more likely to experience a mental health issue. And I couldn't tell you how many times I've wished I could be different, if I could be normal, cool, calm, and collected like other people who do similar jobs. Not told that every time I speak, I can hear the passion you have on this subject in a way that's dismissing me as overinvested. I work in spurts of energy. I can get really frustrated and irritable, and I forget what it was that I wanted to say unless I actually speak up straight away. So, given everything I've said, that is why I speak up and make a difference. And I want to help other people get the support that they need. And with mental health, as I'm sure is the case with many other issues, it just isn't enough to tweet or say you support it. We need change. We need changes in lots of ways. We have had a mental health crisis for a long time, and the resources and support are not there to effectively meet the demand. People can finally get to the stage where they're confident enough to reach out for help. They'll wait on the phone in a GP receptionist queue at 8 a.m. in the morning on the phone and be told that there are no appointments left. This is why I'm enjoying being a mental health first aid instructor, and I've trained over 150 people in just 3 months alongside my day job. Working with people who are eager to learn more and find out what more they can actually do to help is so inspiring. Equipping people with skills, resources, and knowledge to have more impactful conversations to support people in crisis and to help people with early recovery. But I also talk about the importance of tackling stigma and setting the right culture, and that takes all of us. I've been in interviews where I've brought up my mental health, not for the sake of it, but because I do talk a lot and I often talk fast, and I didn't know that I had ADHD. I've seen interviewers switch off from that moment, but I am who I am. We can have people say they want to help mental health, but then set a low bar on their expectations of what someone who has had their struggles can achieve. You switch off from what it is that you've already achieved as well. And it was my battles with mental health that helped to steer our charity on its path last March on the build up to lockdown. I didn't want a situation where people in our community just didn't know where to turn to for help, not know what they're eligible for. That's why I wanted us to be the central phone line for people, and it resulted in us helping 122% more people than the year before, helping more people in 1 year than in any other year of the charity's history. Within the top 10 of all sit-ins advice in the country for calls answered each month and in the shortest queue time. And my colleagues tell me that people are just grateful to be listened to. But still, for many, my mental health, my ADHD, it'll get in the way. So I'll keep on training people, I'll keep on talking about it, and I'll keep on helping my peers to truly change their organisational cultures and services to ensure we don't see people slipping through the cracks. And that includes both our colleagues and the service users as well. And I haven't even talked to you about suicidal ideation, the thoughts of wanting to not live anymore on a daily basis, which is part of my personality disorder. But that's something that I have to live with, something I have to experience, but it can be really, really unsettling. Mental health is complex, and you don't have to have all the answers, but you just want to need to work with people, to sit alongside them and support them through the journey that they're going to have as well. And that's what I ask. I don't ask that we all become experts. I ask that you're prepared to get down on the level of someone else. If I was struggling, to sit next to me and talk about how we can navigate this journey together. So reach out, speak to people for support, and if you don't have the answers, then let's help look for them together. And training is just one way of being able to do that.